Everyone knows you can't conjure food. Haven't you heard of Gamp's law?
I'm dreading taking my Transfiguration owl. Absolutely dreading it. I'd rather jinx myself than have to explain reasons for the exceptions to Gamp's law.
How rare a metamorphmaguy anyway?
My mother sent me a howler after I got a paw on my Transfiguration owl. Without a doubt, one of the most embarrassing moments of my life.
In Transfiguration, I switched the writing ink with flobberworm mucus. I thought it'd be funny, and it was. To me.
I still can't manage to transfigure a match into a needle without catching it on fire.
You think Gareth Weasley would be better at Transfiguration, considering his aunt teaches the thing.
Transfiguration's far too difficult for me. Much prefer potions. I like to have a recipe to follow.
I tried to transfigure my parchment into a blanket. Wanted a little nap. Would have been fine if it hadn't caught fire.
Why does the Ministry require animagi to register themselves? Seems most intrusive to me.
I tried telling Hecate that someone cast Evanesco on my assignment. She said if I didn't get it sorted, I'd be the one getting vanished. I used to like Transfiguration, but now it seems to be getting awfully complicated.
Human transfiguration is dangerous. Charlotte Morrison had to go to the hospital wing last year. Got stuck with fox ears. Improvement, I thought.
Professor Weasley's already preparing me to take my Transfiguration NEWT.
I wonder what animal I'd be if I was an animagus. Wouldn't mind being a cat. Or an orumpent.
Sometimes I wish someone would transfigure me into a squirrel. Then I wouldn't have to worry about doing schoolwork anymore.
My cousin was transfigured into a mouse by an older bully last year. Took hours to get her to come out from under the bed. I managed to conjure a hedgehog once, but it disappeared after a few minutes. Shame.
I've been tempted to say I lost my wand just to get out of Weasley's assignments. How's that for Transfiguration?
I was worried Transfiguration would be too difficult, but it turns out I have a knack for switching spells. Mother says it's my indecisive nature.
I love switching spells. Swapped my brother's treacle tart for a fish pie once. He still won't eat around me.
Transfiguration requires such precision. I once turned my pet rabbit into a candlestick. Mother was furious when she set the table and it hopped away.
I'd hate Transfiguration if it wasn't for Weasley. She definitely takes the fear out of it, and that's saying something.
I asked Amit Takar to tutor me in Transfiguration, but he refused. I'm a lost cause. I fell asleep in Transfiguration once. Professor Weasley woke me up and I had drool all over my wand. Couldn't transfigure my way out of that.
Professor Weasley said she'd help me with my switching spells after class. I think she's tired of finding partially transfigured items about the classroom.
I wish I was an animagus that could fly. A raven or an owl. Then I wouldn't need my own broom.
Transfiguration has always come easily to me. I suppose some minds are more suited to it than others.
A Beginner's Guide to Transfiguration was Miley's favourite textbook. I cannot seem to wrap my head around the subject.
Arthur Siggs tried conjuring a pillow the other day. Ended up with a hedgehog. Not terribly comfortable to sleep on, I'd imagine.
I hated learning banishment. Never had such abysmal marks.
If I transfigure my poor toad into a goblet one more time, I think he's going to insist he stay that way.
I wish Hogwarts would teach us how to become animagi. They do at Wagadoo. I'd be a Niffler. Stock up on galleons.
The most I've ever been able to conjure was a single quill. Not sure I'll ever master that one.
Professor Weasley's easily my favourite. Her wand work is exquisite.
I spent hours trying to conjure a meat pie when I was a first year, only to then find out about Gamp's law. Such a disappointment.
Do you think it's painful to be in a half-transfigured state?
My mother adored Transfiguration when she was in school. I'm sure she's disappointed that I'm so terrible at it.
I tried transforming a rabbit into a dinner plate the other day. Ended up with a platter that had long ears. Disaster.
Did you see Claire's hair today? She tried a colour-changing charm on it, and it's essentially the colour of dragon dung.
I should think there's an entire ward in St. Mungo's for Transfiguration accidents. I wish I was a metamorph magus. Imagine being able to change your eye colour depending on your mood.
My brother caused a lot of trouble in Professor Weasley's class when he was at school. He'd idly wave his wand whilst daydreaming and transfigure someone's book into a beetle.
The food that appears in the Great Hall isn't conjured. The house elves make it.
Professor Weasley is a marvellous teacher. Never requires us to write more inches of parchment on a topic than necessary.
I don't understand why people go on about vanishment being difficult. It's only one incantation. Evanesco. There, that's it.
If I can just stop vanishing my notes when practicing Evanesco, I think I can get an O on my Transfiguration O.W.L. this year.
I thought potions required precision, but Transfiguration makes potions seem easy. Quite puts it to shame if you ask me.
I rather enjoy Transfiguration myself. The complexity, the precise nature of it, truly something to be admired.
I think Transfiguration is the hardest subject. It requires such precision and concentration. One wrong move and you've got a grouse instead of a mouse.
When my mother was here, it was a different professor. Apparently nowhere near as nice as Weasley.
I don't care if Weasley is nice. I find everything about Transfiguration utterly unnerving.
I don't know why you'd be scared. It's not as if anything can happen while the teacher's around.
I suppose so.
Although, there was that one time that Hilda turned Astoria Cricket into a worm.
What?
Oh, it wasn't serious.
Wasn't serious? Oh dear. I'm never going back to that class.
I don't know why you're so worried. Just don't sit next to Hilda. Simple as that. Oh, wait. Or Grace.
What?
Never mind.
I made my own.
You didn't?
Wasn't hard. Had some dung and a few dead scarab beetles. Worked very well.
You made your own bludger out of scarab beetles and dung?
That's what I said.
Surely that wouldn't be at all comparable to an iron bludger.
No, it wasn't. It was better.
How can dung and dead beetles possibly be better than a real bludger?
Simple. If you practice with something that can't kill you, it makes you take chances. Push yourself.
You actually played with this unsanitary piece of sporting gear?
Of course. Added a bit of glue, enchanted it to chase me. How else do you think I built up such confidence on the pitch?
I'm not sure I've seen you play on the pitch. The actual Hogwarts pitch. I've seen you pottering about the moors.
And do you remember seeing other students practicing their craft on the moors?
No. Can't say I have.
No, because they weren't confident, but I evidently was worthy of remembering.
I don't think I saw other students on the moors. Not flying. It was only you. That's why I remember it.
Well, if you ever want to borrow my beetle bludger, you only need ask. It'll bring your confidence out.
Do you not feel I'm confident?
No.
Oh, I see. I suppose if you're offering to let me use your dung bludger...
Beetle bludger. It's more beetle than dung.
Your beetle bludger. I'd like to borrow it then, please. I could do with a bit more confidence now that I think of it.
Very well. I shall equip you with the beetle bludger tomorrow. You'll be beaming with confidence in no time. But don't break it. You're awful with the club, like an erumpent in a blindfold. It's a wonder your broom doesn't flee.